Hey, Austin here, in the middle of Storm Eleanor here in the UK, but hopefully we won't get too disturbed by it. Just want to bring you a little video on the Oculus Rift wireless adapter that's been released, which you can get on overclockers and scan.co.uk is where I got it from, Scan Computers, and it's the TP Cast. Now, I'm not going to be doing too many videos on VR, apart from probably some like gameplay footage and stuff like that, just for a laugh. But if you are after proper VR news, real meat and links and information, which I won't be doing, you need to go and hit up a guy called Facepalm, and I will put his link in the description below. And you really need to get onto his channel, make sure you subscribe, crush the like button, and get yourself hooked into the Grid VR. Brilliant news on VR. Everything I get from that guy, and he's absolutely solid on the information he gives. But I just want to give you this quick one on the TP Cast. Now, obviously it's a wireless system. The whole idea is to get you untethered from your PC. So this is my Oculus Rift CV1, as I'm sure you're aware, and this is the TP Cast sender right up on the top here. As you can see, it has two USBs coming out the back of it, and it just goes onto the head strap at the top. It's very light, and you look at that and it looks like it might not actually be that comfortable. I actually don't notice it. If anything, it actually balances the headset quite nicely, because it puts a little bit extra weight here, which means all the weight is now not on the front of your head, because otherwise it kind of feels like it's pulling down. But it actually helps. Do excuse my hair. My wife will be rolling her eyes when she sees this. But what you get, and I'll come back a little bit so that you can see, right, you get all that cable, and that goes to power module. So here's your power module. Again, you've got your power socket and the USB, and then on the back here you've got two USBs. So why would you have two USBs? Well, this is obviously where the battery goes, and this is the battery. Now, it's a 20,100 milliamp hour battery. It's a battery bank. Nothing more, nothing less. So I looked on the TPcast website, and I'm trying to figure out where can I get one of these, because I don't know how long these are going to last. I've heard, people being able to do 3 or 4 hours, on a single battery, which is more than enough, because not being funny, I struggle to do half an hour, maybe an hour sometimes at a go, depending on where I'm at and what I've been doing during the day, so I don't get to play too much VR, unfortunately, but that's going to change, along with a lot, which you will find out later on. But yeah, so I wanted to find a battery. They didn't have anything on it. So I thought, okay, I'll wait until it gets here. And it is an Anker, A-N-K-E-R, battery power bank. So when I opened the box, it said not for sale. And I saw it, and I thought, okay, so it's not TP Cast. Everything else in the box is TP Cast branded. The battery isn't. It's Anker. So what I did is I went straight onto Amazon with the model number that's on the bottom of this. Amazon.co.uk. So now I've got two batteries, one on, one off, and it was £28.99. That's UK pounds, obviously, but £28.99 for the battery, and I got it next day. So you can get yourself a spare battery, fantastic, or batteries, which is brilliant. So what you do with this, you just literally, it'll only go on one way because there's a little groove. Put it in, and as you can see, it lights up, and you're ready to go. And you think, okay, so with the Vive TP Cast, you have to put this little doohickey in your pocket. But what they've done now, what TP Cast have done, is they've given you basically one of these like backpack strap belts. So you literally strap that around yourself, and you get a little belt pocket, and that's what you put your thing. So if I come over here, I'll stand up, so you're not going to be able to see my face, unfortunately. Do excuse largeness of belly. Yeah, just strap that on. Got your little pocket which you can put to your side. Get your battery. Wires facing in or facing out. And there you go. It means that when you put your headset on, I'm going to take my glasses off so you can see this. I'm going to change my camera view and come over here. So let's get that out of the way. So that when you put this on, you are now completely untethered. Your hands are completely free. You've got your cable there, which you can put down the back of your shirt if you want to keep it from flapping about, you know, on you or whatever, because you might get a bit of that. That's not too bad. But then you're completely free. Nothing. Apart from the chair that I just crashed into, but that's fine. So there you go. That is completely untethered. Now, I'm not going to bother putting any, let's change that back. I'm not going to bother putting any footage up because VR's VR. Right? I will tell you, lag, none. Everything works absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. It's I'm actually very, very surprised. I expected a little bit. Now there are a couple other little parts that go with this, which I'll show you in just a second. But I found no lag with the system at all. So let me show you another part. So you'll have to forgive me. There's a few parts to this. So I'm going to grab this camera here, bring it down. Right. So you also get in the pack the TP Cast receiver, which basically plugs from the HDMI on the back of your computer into the bottom there, and a power adapter. So it has to have a separate power adapter. But it does come, just like your Rift sensors, comes with a little base and a lock, so that you can set it up and put it wherever you can in your room. And then down here you also get a router. Now it's only up to 100 megabytes a second, but it's 2.4 and 5G. It will replace your current router, and it instantly connects the system together for your information, your audio, all of that. All of the information that needs to go through, that needs to be sent and received, has to go through this. I was thinking about it, and to be honest with you, I thought, yeah, you probably don't need the router, surely. Do you really need the router? Well, it turns out that you do. You do need the router, so you know that's fine. But you get it all in the package. Now, obviously, the UK price is $349.99 for the entire package, and if you wanted it earlier, then you have to pay an extra 12 quid for the postage and packaging. But for what it does to untether you from your computer, so you're not going to end up, you know, the old thing that used to have wired controllers, and you know you have a bit of a flid out, you know, bit of a rage quit, pull the computer, you know, pull your console, your Mega Drive off of the TV stand. Well, you don't want that happening with your PC, especially if you're running high-end PC to run VR. Let alone damaging any of the sockets on your helmet, because you're going to end up having to replace them. That's not going to be easy. It's $350. Okay. A wireless system that costs exactly the same as the Rift and touch sensors, controllers and stuff. Price point, it could probably do with being, well, they really need to bring it down to at least half that, really. You know, 200 is probably the best price for it. But then, you know, you have got the Rift, you know, Oculus soon will be hopefully unveiling their wireless system that they'll be doing. Which for some reason the name now escapes me. You know, Santa Cruz, that's the one, Santa Cruz. Which I contacted Facepalm, and I know he's waiting for that one. So, but he wanted me to also let him know what this one was like, and I will say, yeah, it definitely is worth it. You know, but for 350 quid, if you've got the dollar hanging about, then that's fine. Technically, I haven't. This is a Christmas/birthday present for me from my wife, because she supports me in everything that I do. So, you know, you gotta love her. You know, some of those guitars are from her as well. So, you know, I love her. So that's great. But yeah, I'd say that the only issue, and I haven't tried out the microphone, I have heard that apparently the Rift microphone doesn't work, but I don't know if that's true or not, so I haven't actually tested that one out yet, and I'll try and update that at some point, because like I say, I haven't had much of a chance over the Christmas period since getting it to actually play it, you know, because I've been spending time with family, you know. It's only right that, yeah, the wife bought me it, but I've got to at least, you know, honour her and not spend all my time playing games when she's around, because I want to spend time with my wife. I'm married her otherwise. So I would say the only big issue that I actually know about is there's a little bit of field of view blockage. Just down in the left and right hand side. Now you only notice it if you kind of turn your eyes to the left or the right, but you see it, and then when you turn to it, you notice it and it's gone. So you don't really notice it. When you're turning your head around, you don't notice it. It doesn't cause any problems with tracking. But kind of just sitting there looking like that, you do kind of notice it, but it disappears just as you look at it. So if you move your eyes to that position, it kind of disappears. I'm not quite sure how that happens. I have now obviously that is the biggest issue for me. I have contacted TPcast and asked, will there be a firmware update or a software update that will allow the Rift's full FOV to be re-engaged? Whether that happens, I don't know. But again, I will update, as to whether that happens or not. Anyway, that's really kind of it. It was literally just a quick. This is the TPcast. Is worth buying. Is a bit expensive, but if you're really really into VR and you're that you want to become like with most of us with VR, we become early adopters because there hasn't been any extra generational updates in the last 2 or so years with the VR nearly. So if you want to get in and start playing VR untethered, this is the best way. But it basically takes the Rift back up to its normal price. It's still really overall becomes a better experience for me than it would be the Vive. Because that's still quite an expensive unit. I still prefer the Rift Touch controllers. I think the Vive controllers are just far too big. They're too cumbersome for me. But the Rift controllers, anybody that I've put on it, I always start them off and I tell them where the controls are. But it's so intuitive. You pick it up and it's almost, that's how your hands are going to be. That's how your hands normally are. So, But there you go. I'm not doing anything on the Rift. This is about the TPcast. Nice and simple, wireless, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to playing Doom VR very, very shortly. Probably smashing everything off my walls because I'm not being worried about stepping on a cable or tripping over a cable or ripping the front panel off the front of my computer. So, TPcast, thumbs up definitely if you got the dollar. Catch you next time.